How's it going, guys? PeshCats here, and today we're going to be taking a look at that right there. So, Madoka Rebellion, some of the best, what I feel are some of the best non-double R cards and combos in the Madoka Rebellion set. So in my previous video, or one of my previous videos, we went over the double R cards. Now I'm going to highlight some of the rares and uncommons and commons that I think are really cool, and you guys should definitely consider checking out for your decks. So, let's get right into it. Our first card on our list is this 3-2 Mommy. She is just really big. She has 10,000 base power, and for every other magic character on your field, she gets a plus 500 boost. So she can hit 12k if you have a full field. And her other ability is, on the turn this card comes into play, if her attack is cancelled, you can burn for 1 damage. So it's just solid body, and has a cancel burn effect. So like an aggressive way to end out the game. It's no Musashi, which I know a lot of people were expecting to be in the Madoka set, but still, cancel burning for 1 is never a bad thing. It can help you close out games, and this is a solid card. And the next card just supports it. So next up we have this 2-1. Oops, my bad. Next up we have this 2-1 Mommy. She has a global 1k effect, so she gives all your magic characters on the field a 1k boost, and she also has a change ability. You can pay 1 and send her to waiting room at the start of your draw phase, and then you get to change into the 3-2 Mommy. So, yeah, it's changer. Not really much to say there. You can keep it on your field until you change into the 3-2 and then kill your opponent's stuff, because your 3-2 Mommy is going to be really big. Next up we have a 1-0 Mommy, with an effect that we've seen a few times recently, specifically Nisekoi and Sword Art Online. She's 4k base power, and she gains 500 power for every other magic character you have on the field, and she has Clock Encore. So high power for a costless card. She has 6,000 before supports, assuming you have a full field of magic trait characters, and the Clock Encore will help you to sustain your board, and yeah, it's just a really solid level 1, and there's a very good reason why Sword Art Online and Nisekoi run the Shinon and the Kosaki cards. So there's really no reason to not run this if you're running like a yellow deck. The next card on the list is actually 2 cards. So we're going to be taking a look at a 1-0 Nagisa and a 0-0 Mommy. So the Nagisa has 4,500 base, but she gets plus 1,500 if you have a Mommy on the field, while the Mommy is a bonder, so when you play it, you can pay 1 to bond into the Nagisa from your waiting room. And it also gives a global 500 point boost and hand encore to any of the Nagisa that you have on the field, specifically this 1-0 Nagisa. So this is comparable to the Kyoko Apples combo, like with the 1-0 Sayaka from the first set. Was like the Kyoko, you pay 1 bonds to get the 5,500 vanilla Sayaka from your waiting room, and it gives a 1k global boost. So the difference here is that if you have just 1 Mommy bonder on the field, the Nagisa will become a 6,500 with hand encore. If you had 1 Kyoko on the field, the Sayaka becomes a 65, but it doesn't have hand encore. If you have 2 Kyokos, then the Sayaka ends up becoming a 7,500, whereas 2 Mommies makes the Nagisa just 6,500, but this one also has the benefit of the hand encore. So I think this combo is really cool for a yellow deck, and it just promotes like a really low cost level 1 strategy between this and the Clock Encore. So yeah, some pretty solid level 1s coming out of yellow. Next up we're going to take a look at green cards. Here's the card that everybody's been freaking out about for the last couple weeks. Boom! 3-2 Devil Homura. I'm sure you guys all know what this does. So in case you don't, 10k power. When this card comes into play from your hand, you can take an ultimate Madoka from your stage and put it underneath this card as a marker, and while it has a marker, it gets plus 8,500 power. So these effects are like very flavorful of like what happens in the movies, like how Homura like becomes like the devil by like she's like, Madoka, come here, and like gives her the hug, and then like frickin' shit goes crazy. Anyways, back to the card. Second effect is it's like the same clock shooter effect that we've seen from Love Live on the Nico level 3. So when this card reverses the opponent, you can pay 2 and discard a card to shoot to clock, and this works on either player's turn. So if you kill your opponent's character on your turn by attacking, you can send a clock. and if they suicide a character, then you can still send it to clock. So this combined with your insanely high 18,500 power, assuming you have a marker, makes this card really, really easy to clock shot with. The downside, obviously, being that you're going to have to spend a lot of stock because you have to get the Godico on the field, which costs you stock. The Devil Homer costs you stock, and then you have to, and then in order to clock shoot, you have to pay another 2 stock. So it's a pretty big investment, but if you can get it off, then it's definitely going to like freak your opponent out. A lot of people are going to be like, holy crap, 18-5, what do I do? So this card definitely going to be the focus of like a lot of players' decks. They're going to want to build a deck around this because the concept is just so cool and the power level is just so high. So it's definitely going to be a super fun card. Next, we're going to take a look at the Madoka herself, Ultimate Madoka. We're going to highlight both the original one and the new one. So the original one has 10,000 power and has come into play heal ability in addition to a climax combo where you send the Madoka to memory in order to bring out 3/2 Homura from the first set from your deck. So that's the first one. And then we have the new Madoka, the new Ultimate Madoka from the second set. She has 9,500 power, but she gains 500 power for every other magic character you have on the field. So if you have a full field, she becomes an 11/5. And she has a come into play ability. She comes into play from your hand or by change. You can draw a card, and then she gets plus 2,000 power for the turn. So the turn she comes into play, if you have a full field, she becomes 13/5. And she also replaces herself by drawing a card when you play her to the field. So a lot of people have been saying that they would rather use the new Madoka because of the impact that anti-heal has had on the game since the first Madoka set came out. So it's a toss-up. You could run both, like 2 of one and 2 of the other. Obviously, you can't run like 3 of one, 3 of the other because they both have the same name, Ultimate Madoka. But the ratio of which one you run is ultimately up to the player, and I think both of them are solid cards. The next card that we have is this 1/0 Madoka. So she's a climax combo card. She has 5,000 power, and her climax combo is with a stock soul. So when you play the climax, you get a green card from your waiting room put into stock. When this card attacks, it gets, if you have the climax in play, you get plus 3,500, and then if you reverse your opponent, you can send the top card of your deck face down to stock. So the first thing that comes to mind is that that's a lot of stock. You get 1 stock from the climax combo, or you get 1 stock from the climax itself, and then you get, like, let's say you have 3 of this 1/0 Madoka. That's another 3 stock for attacking, and another 3 stock, assuming you reverse 3 of your opponent's characters. That's 7 total stock in 1 turn. That's insane. And this whole combo just lets you set up for your late game. So like how I said previously, like the Devil Homer requires a lot of stock preparation in order to like set up the whole thing. But if you are able to get this climax combo off a bunch of times, then a lot of that stock is already set. The next one is this 2/1 Madoka and Homura card. So when this card comes into play, it gets plus 1,500 power for the rest of the turn. And this has a very unique climax combo free fresh ability. So when this card attacks, if you have the 2k1 soul climax combo that you see on your screen, you can send that climax to the waiting room, then shuffle your waiting room with your deck. So that's basically a free refresh. And then this card gets plus 1,500 power until the end of the turn. So it's a very unique free fresh in that it's a climax combo that also sends back the climax into your deck. So I just think this card's really unique. It also doesn't require you to have 5 or less cards in your deck like other free refreshes do. So you can do this when you're at like 10 cards in your deck and you like out all your climaxes. You can just be like climax combo, and then you throw everything back into your deck. So I think it's really cool. Also, one more thing to note is that because 2k1 climax combo is an auto type climax, if you send it back to the deck, you don't lose the effects of the climax. So that's just how auto effect climax works. You don't lose the effects if the climax is removed from the field. Next up, we're moving on to the red now. So we've got some pretty ordinary cards in red and blue, starting with this 0/0 Kyoko. So she's a level 0 Suicider, and she has a level 0 Shift ability. So it's a very ordinary card, but at the same time, it's a level 0 Suicider, which means that It's pretty good. Kyoko already does have a level 0 Suicider from the first set, but this one comes with a shift ability, which means that if you have like higher level red cards in your hand, you can change them out for the 0/0 Suicider and then have something to attack with early in the game. There are also a lot of other shift abilities or cards that interact with shift in this set that you might want to like use the shift to activate those abilities. But outside of what you see here, this card really isn't too exciting. It's just a level 0 Suicider. Okay, now this next card reminds me a lot of Chihaya from what's it called? From Rewrite. So when this card comes into play from your... Okay, so first of all, this is a 2/2 oversized. It has 9,500 power, which is, you know, oversized. When this comes into play from your hand, you have to discard a card or this card dies. And then this card has a climax combo with a gate climax. When this attacks, you can pay 1 to salvage a character, and then this gets plus 1,500 until the end of the opponent's turn. So it becomes an 11k defensively, and then when you're using the climax, it becomes a 12k because you get the 1,000 boost from the climax itself. So like I said, it reminds me a lot of the Chihaya 2/2 from Rewrite. And just like the Chihaya 2/2 from Rewrite, it has a changer. So this 1/1 Kyoko gives an assist to magic characters only in front, +1 level and +500, so you can use this to like not get side attacked, assuming you have like a big board. And her second ability is a change. Pay 1, send this card to waiting room at the start of the draw phase, and you can play the 2/2 Kyoko out of your waiting room. So solid stuff. Now moving on to the blue. Like I said, kind of ordinary cards. We have this 0/0 Psycho Brainstorm. You mill 4, and for each climax you mill, you get to search your deck for a magic trait character and discard a card. So it's nothing too special. There's no secondary ability, but it's a solid brainstorm. It's spammable, so if you need to pay out climaxes, you can do that. And or if you need to like discard climaxes out of your hand, you can do that with this ability as well. So I mean, like we've seen Tokitsakaze in Kantai Collection seeing play, and it's basically the same card. There's tons of like other cards with this exact same ability for their respective deck, and they see play, so there's no reason that this can't see play as well. And now moving on to the last card that I picked out, we have this 2/1 Sayaka. Her ability is a climax combo with a 2k1 soul. On attack, pay 1, heal 1, because we totally need more heals for Sayaka at level 2. So now we have this, and we have Sayaka's Wish as well. So I mean, like, all the heals at level 2. Let's like just you have all the heals at level 2. You have like this early summon at level 2 in the new set. It's crazy. So like Sayaka's definitely getting quite a bit of love out of this set. And then she has Clock Encore as well. So like you can Clock Encore and then you can heal off the Clock Encore. And then like if your 2k1 draws another 2k1, you can Clock Encore and heal again. So basically the cycle continues over and over again, assuming you don't get hit to level 3. So that's all the cards that I'm going to be reviewing today. Let me know if there's any cool cards that you guys think I missed. You guys can go ahead and discuss those down in the comment section below. But this is all that I'm going to be talking about today. I'm sure there's some other cool cards and combos that I missed. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I put quite a lot of time and effort into like making these presentations for you guys. So I hope you guys appreciate all the effort. Give me some like cool comments down in the comment section below and stuff like that. So until next time, this has been Peshcats, and I'll see you guys later.